Alright, ladies and gents. I'm going to talk to you about AC Odyssey. Alright.
People come here to worship Aphrodite, but the view is the real beauty.
And yeah, I thought it was only fitting that we do it here in one of the most beautiful views in the entire game. Alright. There's things I need to talk about. And this is genuinely my entire experience playing AC Odyssey. Alright. After about 4,000 hours of this game, I think I've learned enough and have done enough to actually, like, know what is going on here. Alright. And we're gonna talk about the nitty-gritty, alright? We're gonna talk about the good and the bad with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Alright? The good and the bad. We're gonna talk about it's gonna be a decent video. It's gonna be a long video, alright? So bear with me here, alright? We got some stuff to talk about. Okay, I'm gonna try to go over everything that I possibly can. Alright. I'm gonna try. I'm probably not gonna be able to cover everything. But we're gonna try to get most of it. Alright. Okay. First things first. Let's talk about why people like and dislike the game. I've seen, you know, people talk about, you know, the bloatiness and combat is clunky, you know, microtransactions, you know, the massive grinding. I mean, you know, subpar story. You know, it's not an AC game, right? Oh, yeah, you know, I've heard it all, okay? I've heard it all. Now, to be fair, a lot of those complaints that people have, and real talk, they're actually justified, okay? Like, real talk. Listen, I've been playing Assassin's Creed ever since AC1, right? Now, I haven't been able to play AC1 for a long time on PS3 because I don't have my PS3 anymore, okay? So, you know, I was here from the beginning, right? With, you know, the Ezio collection, Rogue, Black Flag, Unity, Syndicate, all of it. All right, I was here for it. Okay, I just wasn't on YouTube. All right, I was in the background, you know, experiencing the game, bro, for what it was. I was experiencing all the games. All right, I'm only on YouTube now, talking about it now. All right, and we're gonna talk about everything. Right? Alright. I'm gonna try to remember everything that I possibly can. Alright, I might forget a few things, but, you know, let me know in the comments section. We could talk about it, alright? So, like, yes, I've heard all the complaints that people have for it, and they really are justified. You know, they really are justified. And you know, I do have a few things to say about it, okay? The reason why I like this game, or, you know, enjoyed it for what it was, you know, building your character up, right? Looting chests and you know, looting stuff, right? All the loot that you can grab. You know, I'm kind of a loot goblin, all right? Like, yeah, like I'm so much of a loot goblin that I haven't sold any of my loot. I mean, I may have sold a little bit of it, but as you can see, like, I've kept all my loot, right? Yeah, I'm a loot goblin, all All right, we got all sorts of neat goodies in here, right? We could sell it for a lot, right? I mean, this is like multiple, and I mean multiple playthroughs worth of loot. And some of these, you know, it's because I wouldn't bother to get multiples of them every playthrough, you know. But like right there, this isn't like my only playthrough, all right? This is just one playthrough. I've, you know, I've taken care of thousands of mercenaries, all right? Truth be told, thousands of mercenaries. I've gone above and beyond, brother, all right? I have all sorts of builds, right? Okay? This is one of my favorite builds in the entire game to use while playing on Nightmare. It is the Greek hero set. All right, it's got maximum resistance gravings. It's got ignore damage, melee resistance, range resistance. I mean, it's got everything, right? It's probably not built to perfection, but it's pretty decent, all right? Right? Now, on Nightmare difficulty, if you want the perfect build to survive Nightmare difficulty, this is by far the #1 build that you need to have while playing Nightmare. All right, it is the Greek hero set. This thing is actually insane. All right, it's wild. It is a really good set. All right, to help you survive attacks, and you know it'll help for you to not die. Okay, you might still die, of course, because you know we know how this game is and it's BS, right? So you might still die, of course, but while I've wielded this set playing on Nightmare, I still haven't died yet. All right, so if you want a solid build, the Greek hero set, you know, you can do whatever you want to it. You know, put your own engravings on your set, but the Greek hero set, #1. All right. I've got all sorts of, you know, nice builds that I've made, you know, from everything that I've enjoyed from over the years. All right. I got an assassin build, you know, which focuses around the hero strike ability, you know, doing lots of damage, right? Okay. Like I said, it's probably not the most amount of damage, but we're sacrificing, all right? And as you can see, you can always slow it down and look at all the nitty-gritty, right? You can all look at it. Warrior damage isn't good, but the assassin damage is really good. And the issue I have is, right, there's some things I'm going to talk about, you know? We got the assassin build, right? We also got the Agamemnon set, however you say it, right? This is a wonderful fire build. Really fun. I encourage you to try it. It's a really fun fire build. The Agamemnon set, yeah, that's how you say it. So yeah, this is a really fun build, right? Okay. I also got a hunter build, which is the Athenian war hero set. This set is really nice for a hunter build. And then the one and only coveted build, right? That everyone is talking about all the time when playing Odyssey is the crit damage, crit chance build, right? Crit damage, crit chance, all of it, right? The warrior build that everyone talks about, all right? Let me tell you something. This build is absolute bogus. Now, I'm going to explain to you why. Because first of all right, I'm using the Blade of Humaness, which means I'm not using any abilities, all right? The abilities I got are just, you know, these, you know, the regular just master abilities that you need, right? That don't require any adrenaline to use, right? Just, you know, the normal stuff. And then all my other stuff is thrown into my mastery levels, all right? Now, I can't heal at all. The only time I can heal is off parries or by dealing damage because of my mastery abilities, which allows me to, you know, gain health back by dealing damage, okay? listen, on Nightmare difficulty, this build is absolute bogus. And I'm going to explain to you why. Alright? Now, with the crit damage and crit chance, yes, it's really nice. Alright? You do a lot of damage, right? Like, you really do a lot of damage. Alright? But the thing is, you're literally one-shot the entire time. Alright? You go up against a brute or a Stachigoi. I don't even know what you call those. The big old brutes with the giant shields and the axes. Alright? Those guys, dude, they'll hit you once and you're literally one tap away from dying. Alright? Like, it's absolute craziness. Okay? The reason why I hate the crit chance and crit damage build so much is because you sacrifice all of your armor and health just to maximize damage, right? And most of the time, you die all the time. It's really not worth it, all right? Like, yeah, you might get a little, you know, a little adrenaline rush from having all that damage, but in reality, bro, like, you're gonna die all the time, alright? And it's really not even that fun of a build, alright? Like, in my opinion, some of the most fun, like, the most fun build I have, you know, to play Nightmare without dying is really the Greek Hero set. This thing, you can literally sit here and you can stand in front of enemies. You can stand in front of a group, bro, and literally just let them hit you, and you won't even take damage. I mean, you might take the occasional damage depending on what kind of attack they do, but you really won't take much, all right? And you can, it's like the perfect thing, right? Now, there's more things we could talk about. Now, when it comes to clothing in this game, I love and hate the clothing, all right? I really don't like the way a lot of these outfits look, all right? Like, in my opinion, all right, this is my opinion, a lot of these outfits look really weird to me. Like, really weird, and I feel like they don't belong, all right, in Assassin's Creed or whatever you want to call it, right? Yeah, a lot of the, and not even that, like, yeah, some of them look cool, like, oh, you got the wolf head on it, but then, like, there's certain things about the outfit that just really throw it off, all right, and it's really not even attractive, you know, like, it looks weird, all right, most of this stuff looks weird. Now, there's a few certain, you know, outfits and combinations that really look nice, you know? Like, one of my favorites. Like, absolutely one of my favorites, right? Like, hey, there's some good looks that you can make, right? There really is. But there's not a whole lot you can do, all right? And that's what disappoints me, you know, a lot about Odyssey, is that there's not really much variety that actually looks good, all right? But there is some variety, all right? And, like, this right here would be possibly one of my favorite looks for Cassandra in the entire game. Now, you guys know me, right? I don't like playing as Alexios, alright? I always pick Cassandra every time while playing this game. And it's because, you know, Cassandra's just amazing, dude. She's cool, alright? She's really cool. I like her, right? And if you know me, you know, throughout my YouTube career, any game that I can that allows me to choose the female character, I always do it, right? Because they're usually better. All right, and they're usually more entertaining and more fun to play, you know. And you know, that's just how it is, right? So now let's talk about some things that I dislike about the game, right? For one, at the very beginning of the game, when you first start, when you're a very low level and you play it on the harder difficulties, the game is really hard, alright? There's really not a lot of forgiveness at all, It's pretty brutal, all right? And the thing is also that a lot of materials in this game are hard to come by. And yeah, you can find them everywhere, and you can respawn and reload areas to go, loot and build up materials. But man, it takes ages, bro. Like, and not to mention, when you're playing on harder difficulties, the scaling scales up to your level. Now, if you allow your gear to fall behind, it's not gonna be it's not gonna be good. All right. Trust me, it's just not gonna be good. All right, so basically, like, it takes forever to get materials in this game to keep your gear at the required level, which is what they scale to your level. All right, mercenaries, they like to go above your level. All right, which is really absurd. All right, it's absolute. It's just completely absurd, all right? Now, I got one of my longtime viewers, man. His name is Simmons, right? And he knows what I'm about to get into next, all right? I'm going to talk about the one thing that I dislike most about this entire game, all right? And it is the mercenaries. The mercenaries absolutely drain the life out of this game, all right? Absolutely horrible. Like, I'm gonna just say, brother, you can't win, all right? You can't. Listen, I know I may have the Greek hero set on, right, with maximum resistance gravings and all that, but I'm telling you, eventually on Nightmare, they're gonna get me, all right? They're gonna get me, right? And there's nothing you can do about it, bro. There's literally nothing you can do. All right? When they say give up, bro, just give up, all right? It's done for. Which is why after this video, I'm pretty much giving up on the game, all right? Like, I'm not going to be playing it anymore because I've done all that I've needed to. I've grinded my ass off for this game, all right? I've gotten every single weapon, everything there is to get in this game. I've done the DLC, right? I've done it all, okay? And these are all the, the DLC, abilities and whatnot. Like, I've done it. Okay? I've put in 4,000 hours into this game, which is an insane amount, all right? And for someone that didn't play this game when it first came out, and I was, like, a few years late to the party, yeah, that's quite a bit, brother, all right? Now, I'm going to, name off some things that I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree with me on. And before any of you start saying skill issue, all right, I made videos before and I had people telling me, hey, this player would never last in Elden Ring. This player would never make it in Elden Ring. Well, I'm here to tell you different, all right? We dominated Elden Ring. We dominated. Our first playthrough, we didn't summon, right? We didn't do any BS. No magic, no summons, right? We dominated. All right? And you know what? I even went as far as no-hitting Millennia like an absolute Chad. All right? Like an absolute Chad. All right? Like, let me solo her, bro. Like, parrying her on a daily basis. All right? Because she's a fun fight. And yes, I've beaten Consort Radon, okay? I've beaten the entire of the DLC, okay? Now, I haven't beaten the DLC on max scaling, but, I have beaten it, all right? Now, I'm probably not gonna do the DLC on max scaling, bro, because Consort Radon is just a menace, bro. He's just a menace, all right? Now, listen, I've no hit Millennia on max scaling, all right? Don't say skill issue, buddy. All right? You can't. You have no right to say skill issue, all right? I went above and beyond, okay? You don't. It's not a skill issue, all right? That is reserved for other people, okay? And you know what I'm talking about. I know that's kind of a, you know, a dickhead thing to say, but, you know, it is what it is, all right? So listen, all right, I'm going to explain some things that I really, you know, don't like about the game, all right? One, the mercenaries, okay? These guys take forever to die, all right? Literally, they have so much armor, and you're swinging at them like over and over and over again, you know. You're just swinging and swinging and swinging, right? You're swinging and swinging, and they just don't die, all right? They have so much health, bro, and on Nightmare, it's even worse, all right? It's not fun, all right? It's really not. Like, I was just down there in Corinth causing some trouble, which is why I had that bounty, right? You know, I was just messing around for a little bit, and it's really not even fun, bro. Like, it's only decent because I'm not dying in one hit, right? Which is why I think the Greek hero set is possibly one of the the best armor set in the entire game. All right? It's really good. Now, let's see if I can think. All right, so I've done the story multiple times, all right? Now, look, truth be told, all right? When I first played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and when I first played through the story, it actually brought a tear to my eye because I could relate to it, all right? It was a really good story when I first played it. All right, when I first played it and I was exploring all the options and all the choices and whatnot, it was really cool. All right, I enjoyed it. But when you start getting into the new game plus, right, and you start realizing that it's a massive grind, right, you got to go through it, right, it's repetitive as hell, all right, and you go through it over and over and over again, and eventually it gets pretty boring. Truth be told, all right? It gets pretty boring. Now, all right? That being said, that is one factor that makes me, like, not want to play this game because the story is so long and it takes fucking ages to do. Like, absolute, like, it takes ages. All right? Let's see if I can think of any other things. Oh, yeah. Another thing. The ship combat on Nightmare difficulty is absolutely absurd. You die all the time. And there's really... Like, as you can see, there's my ship down there. Yep. She's looking gorgeous down there in the harbor. Yep, right. Now, listen, truth be told... The only time I ever really have fun on this game is when I have the difficulty turned down. Like, you know, I'm not afraid to admit I like playing the game on easy a lot, all right? Because when I'm on the ship, all right, I don't like dying all the time on Nightmare because, like, it doesn't even matter if you have the bracing ability. Like, dude, you take so much damage. All right, and it's just like, it's ridiculous at that point. Like, you can't even do anything, all right? You know? So, yeah, I play it on easy sometimes just so that I can survive out on the water, you know? And that's normally what I do when I hit the water, is I turn the difficulty down. Because I don't want to die every 2 seconds, you know, getting surrounded by bandits that are just crashing into you and shit. And then all these Athenian ships and then Spartan ships. And you're just getting surrounded, bro. And you're just like a fish. You're like a small fish in a big pond, bro. You know? You can't do anything. All right? That's another thing I don't like. All right? Now, another thing. Let's see if I can think of something. I mean, there's really not much. I mean, most of the complaints come from, you know, being on, you know, playing on Nightmare difficulty. It's kind of absurd, kind of ridiculous, kind of BS, you know? But, I mean, let's talk about some things that I like, right? first off, the world is beautiful. Am I right? It's stunning. Listen, if there's one thing Ubisoft does very good, is making beautiful open worlds and making it truly breathtaking. All right? Right? That's one, okay? Now, you know, fighting against the Athenians and the Spartans, yeah, it's really fun, you know, to think about the lore for a little bit. But when you're doing like the conquest battles, yeah, bro, it's like, all right, what am I even doing this for, right? Like, you're just fighting, and then, you know, it's you know, it gets ridiculous when you play it on higher difficulties. And you know what? I even have something to say. Even on, I've died on easy before. Like, yeah, and that's, yeah, I died like earlier in the game because there wasn't really much I could do, but yeah, like, I've died on easy before. Like, shit happens, brother, you know? But, like, this game is truly insane. Like when Cassandra just wipes out everybody, all she does is just stand there and look at the bodies. And I'm just thinking, wondering to myself, like, all right, what are we doing here? Like, bro, what happened to the Assassin's Creed that I once grew up and known to love? Right? Like, bro, this is literally Mercenaries Creed. Like, bro, I don't fuck with this. You feel me? Now, you know, take it, it was annoying to do, you know, 100% synchronization on all the missions on all the old AC games. That stuff's annoying, man. It really is. Because a lot of the times, man, Ubisoft just makes all these absurd challenges, bro. And it's stressful. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm starting to think like it's not me, bro. I'm starting to think like the devs are a little delusional, man. Like, I don't know what y'all are doing, but it ain't it, son. It ain't it. That's not it. I don't know what we're doing here, but we need to do something different, man. This ain't it. All right. Now, I don't even know what I can say to make the games better because I most certainly guarantee that Ubisoft ain't listening, all right? They don't care. I'm just assuming at this point. Right? Because they don't listen, right? They don't really care about the player base. Or at least it seems like they don't. Because you know what? Actually, recently I was playing Origins lately and they got rid of the Heka chest. All right? And I actually looked up online and it said to have something to do with gambling. All right. Well, if you took the Heka chests out, why can we still get Olympian gifts in Fokis? That's still gambling. Right? It's still gambling. Why are the Olympian gifts still here? Like, it doesn't make sense, bro. It doesn't. At all. Like, why did you get rid of the Heka chest? That was one of the big reasons why I was playing Origins. Was so that I can, you know, grind drachmas, right? And then get some nice weapons. But now we can't do that anymore. So now I don't play Origins. Alright? Now, yeah, I mean, man, there's really not much to like about Odyssey. I mean, the story's kind of subpar after you get used to it. It gets kind of boring after a while, you know? And constantly clearing out forts and doing this, doing that, repetitive contracts and bounty on bandits, bounty on soldiers. It gets kind of repetitive, all right? And like I said, it's going to be the nail in the coffin, and I'm eventually just going to stop playing this game, all right? Like, I don't need to show you all the abilities and whatnot. I mean, you basically saw the builds, all right? I mean, there's also another assassin build that's really good, all right? Which is the Master Assassin set, the Vanish ability. Bro, you could literally be fighting a whole bunch of enemies, vanish ability, and it'll literally poison everyone around you, and it's pretty cool, right? There's a lot of cool stuff you could do, but I don't know, it gets old after a while, man, you know? It really does. All right, there's a lot of cool outfits, you know. I've made some really decent outfits in this game, in my opinion. All right, now I mean, that's really pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what else to say about the game, man. It's like, it's just not that fun anymore. You know? And like, honestly, playing it on YouTube and dealing with copyright music, it's kind of annoying. All right? So like, there's really not much left for me to do here in this game. Like, yeah, I could go to the fort and show you, like, what 4,000 hours looks like. I could do it, but I'm not going to do it, all right? I'm going to spare you all the fighting, all right? Because I'm pretty sure you've already all seen it before, right? You've all seen it. All right? And listen, I know I'm known for the charged heavy attack, but I've kind of learned to, you know, not use it as much, all right? Get some combos going, right? Right? You know, get some combos going. Yeah. Get some rhythm in there, some flow, right? And then charge attack, you're right. Massive damage, right? Yeah. Okay, we get it. Right? So I mean, when I first played it, it was fun, you know, exploring all the objectives and clearing out all the places and whatnot. But, man, it gets so boring and repetitive, man. Like, I don't see myself continuing to play this game, you know? And, yes, I love my co-piece. I love my bandit sword, you know? And honestly, I'm a sword person, all right? I don't really like all the other stuff. I don't like daggers. They don't really do a lot of damage. A lot of you would say, oh, you know, there's a lot of DPS, but honestly, I kind of disagree. They're really not good. All right? Honestly, swords are probably the best weapons in the game, honestly. Depending on what you do. I mean, you can make some really good builds with, you know, heavy blunts and heavy blades and whatnot. But they're kind of both, they're kind of like all the same, right? All right. Now, there's really not much else to say, right? I mean, damage sponges, right? I mean, dude, everything just takes ages to die, all right? Like, I'm just over it, all right? Now, okay, I forgot. My absolute favorite thing about this game, all right, is going to the tombs. All right, going to the tombs and, you know, looting them and, you know, finding out all the secrets about them. I love the tombs, all right? The tombs are my absolute favorite thing about this game. All right, the music inside the tombs is very calming, and it allows me to, you know, recollect my thoughts and calm down and chill out, you know. I like the tombs, all right? Other than that, man, there's not really much else to say. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say, all right? If you want to have a more distinguished conversation, if you want to talk about specific things, you can always make a comment, all right? I'll talk to you, all right? I talk to my viewers. I talk to everyone that I can, all right? Equally, okay? If you want to talk, make sure to leave a comment, all right? Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, you know, this small conversation. I mean, I know there's some things we could probably still talk about, but there's really no point, all right? The game's kind of ridiculous. So if you want my advice, don't do a crit damage, crit chance build. You'll basically just die on Nightmare instantly, all right? You'll have no armor, no health, no nothing. Don't do it, all right? Take my word for it. If you want to go try it out yourself, go ahead, all right? All these other people telling you to do it, nah, they're trolling, all right? They just want you to die, all right? Don't do it. If you really want a good set to help survive on Nightmare, Greek Hero set, alright? All the other stuff is basically just fun, alright? So, yeah. It's been Big Nate, man, and we've had a long journey. And even though Ubisoft may hate me for saying whatever or whatnot, just know I've been here from day one, man, and I still haven't played Shadows yet because I haven't upgraded to PS5. I still have my PS4, so, you know, it is what it is. I still haven't played Shadows, and I probably won't for a long time. So, yeah, it is what it is, man, and yeah, man. Honestly, I don't know what to say. But yeah, beautiful views. Really nice game. It's been Nate. You guys take care.